It's time to bring out the first team for round number 3, Battle on the Bank 2, Capital Punishment, right here in Austin, Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome to the track, the Hurricane Alley Roller Derby.
The others, it's Hurricane in Texas.
Make the lap and then line up and all that.
Here they come. All right, lining up on the track right now, number 00, Bruzy McGee. Number 420, Karma Lucha. Number 27, Clam Zirella. Number 4, Iron Jenny Flint. Number double deuce, baby, Sugar Skater. Number 350, and your bench manager tonight, Baby Cakes. Lucky number 77, Foxy Starlight. Your co-captain tonight at number 13, Nina Cochina. Number 1337, Diana. Number 1203, Volatil Vixen. Number 9mm, Nina Ross. Number 4355, Thorn Skater. Number 7, Annie Smokely.
And making a return to the bank track after 2 years of maternity leave, starting out one of the original skaters of TXRD. Ladies and gentlemen, the Lunatic!
Woo! Lunatic makes her return, ladies and gentlemen.
And now, the home team. Right here from Austin, Texas, ladies and gentlemen, the All-Star Army! The captain of the All-Star Army with a 4.0 average, number 4.0, Smarty Pants. The co-captain of the All-Star Army, number 2, Dixie Sanchez. Coming in at 39 centimeters, Miss Corona. Number 757, Me So Vicious. Number 911, Damsel Distresser. Number 1982, Rocky Casbah. Number 1054, the Bionic Woman, Kate or Die. Number 2012, Donna Destruction. Number 1967, Daisy May Damage. Number 721, Jalapeno. Number double D, Tits McGee. Number 99, Oh Canada. Number 1800, Mummy Dearest. Number 0, Chester Menace. number 187, La Princesa. And number 5, the Norwegian Storm, category 5. And our manager this evening, Miss Veruca Assault. Ladies and gentlemen, the TXRD All-Star Army!
And of course, no game would be official without officials. So, our head ref for this particular bout is Gia de Los Muertos. Our game executioner, the person with the mask of the head, hot chops off the head, is L. Clot 1-3D. Our jam ref will be Thomas Rufferson. Our other jam ref, or pack ref rather, will be Disco Tex. El Matador is back out there with us. Outside line ref is Dennis. Be careful for the other outside ref, son of Sam. And then, of course, we have Gwen Gritty.
And we're off and rolling with round number 3 of the Battle of the Bank. Let's see who can draw first blood. One of our expansion teams in the world of bank track roller derby, the Hard Girls from Corpus Christi. Dixie Sanchez is your lead jammer and is out in front. Signified by the official with her hand up in the air. Dixie Sanchez is the lead jammer. She comes into the back of the pack in the point scoring position.
Mike, we've got the Lone Star scrape right here. Two Texas teams battling off.
Whoa, calling her off and she goes right in the rail hard. 0 points for Hurricane Alley Roller Derby. 5 points for the All-Star Army!
There you go, Mike. Got the proverbial home team out there on the track right now. Starting out with 5 points to no points. Right there, and you got to hope that the All-Star Army can come out and make a good showing out here at this tournament. Again, Mike, I'm not biased at all.
Second jam set lineup for Smarty Pants jamming for the All-Star Army. Whoa, Smarty Pants gets turned around in a rare move. She is so nimble on her feet, you rarely see her bobble like that.
Pivot doing a nice job on Smarty Pants too there, Mike.
Oh, she did. She took her right there to the rail. You don't see her shut down this hard this often, and she's free of the pack and is your lead jammer.
And I'll tell you, it's Texas's pivot that finally cuts off the pivot chase from Corpus Christi and lets her free.
Smarty Pants working her way through the back and calls off the jam with a full 5 points for the All-Star Army, 0 points for Hurricane Alley.
And one of Mike, those were 5 well-earned points.
5 hard-fought points. We have 1-minute jams here. However, we are having running time here. The time clock does not stop in between jams. So we'll watch the girls get back up on the track as quickly as possible. And they are lined up like a football team down there.
Well, Mike, I'm pulling for my Hurricane Alley roller derby gals over here. This is their first shot out at a bank track tournament. Oh, look at that move by Rocky Casbah.
Rocky Casbah is the highest ever point scorer in a single bout for TXRD. And she's going to show it to you right now.
Well, Mike, we're not in Napa Valley, but Rocky can still go sideways on you. And she did around that corner right there.
She is fluid as she moves through the pack. And stays about the right line. A full jam. She's going for a double jam. She's going for the double here.
10 seconds left in this jam. Let's see if she can do it.
She's going for the double. She's working all the way through. And clear, we're out of time in that jam. 10 points for the All-Star Army, 0 points for Hurricane Alley.
And I tell you, those last few points, she found a seam that daylight wasn't going to pass through to get through that one. That was all her.
Well, I'm going to take a shot in the dark and see, do we have any fans here tonight? Rocky Casbah! That's getting the crowd going right there. Rocky Casbah with 10 points. And so far, so good for the All-Star Army. Currently leading 20-0.
Okay, so you have to tell me, I know everybody has mascots and stuff, but the Luke Skywalker guy, what's up with that?
Well, that's Johnny Stranger, mascot for the All-Star Army here, and he's bringing his Jedi powers for the All-Star Army, apparently. Meanwhile, back out front, it's Me So Vicious, second-year skater for TXRD.
Well, Me So Vicious does a whole lot for this league, Mike. Not only a skater, but a great organizer and leader in this league.
Well, I got to tell you, she was instrumental in putting this whole tournament together, and she's, I think she's going to be working out a little bit of aggression out here on the track this weekend. She's really been snowed under the entire time, and she's done a wonderful job. Calls off the jam with a full jam for Me So Vicious. 5 points for TXRD, 0 points for Hurricane Alley.
Well, I tell you, I got to give a shout out to Hart's Clumsarella, who's been out there trying to take over the front of the pack, but has been unable to get any help up there. TXRD has obviously maintained the front of it for the rest of the time.
Well, Bob, speaking in front of the pack, going in at the pivot position for Hurricane Alley Roller Derby is number 26, Lunatic! Lunatic, formerly of TXRD Roller Girls.
One of the original putas.
Absolutely. And you know that tattoo is still firmly attached at the bottom lip, Mike.
That's right. Pura vida.
You mean you can't just get one of those that's like a transfer?
No, this one doesn't wash
I
off.
couldn't do that.
Looks like we've got some penalties here for the first time in this bout. 0 points scored for either team that last jam. This has been a surprisingly clean bout with no penalties so far, but hang on.
You spoke too soon. There's too many skaters.
That's why the officials
We've
call it.
said that for years.
Well, yeah.
Sorry, that was a joke. That was a joke.
We've got an official timeout. Official timeout.
Wesley, you shouldn't say that.
Well, I gotta say, you know, you talk about a clean bout, and so far it's been a really well-run bout. These refs down there, I can't say enough about coming in one day, standardizing a bunch of rules for a tournament, keeping everything clean out there, not a whole lot of controversy. These refs in this tournament have been doing a great job so far.
Yeah, there's no question about that. When I went through the rules and I thought, how are you going to take all those different people and get them on the same page? This is as good as it gets.
We've got a track issue. We got a little track repair. One of our production staff is already over it. Well, every now and then a screw will come up, and we've got to do a little, well, we got a little bit of time here. I'd like to thank one of our favorite sponsors, secede from the rest of the beer world. Go buy a Lone Star beer, brewed right here in Texas for Texans and all our friends from out of town.
That would be your local thought canister.
And of course, Fracture Magazine. They do it derby style. Roller derby for roller derby.
I'm just wondering if Team Legit has to go out there and repair the track that they just completely wrecked in the first game. I mean, like I said, I don't know if that track was designed to hold together at the speeds that Team Legit was skating in the very first bout.
Well, the thing that worries me, Wesley, is I was the guy that went around and put like all the final screws in last night. So,
Oh, well, there's the problem
yeah,
right there.
I know. They gave me a power tool. I didn't get hurt too badly.
You know, we've got a booth here at Capital Punishment for Grimace.
That might have been one of my
I'm sorry, that's
screws.
Glimmerance. You know, Glimmerance right here. They've got a booth over there in Vendor Alley. This might be something that will come in handy because they've got their bruise balm and the love bite potion to soothe your pains away. That's Glimmerance right over here in Vendor Alley.
Oh, what? Oh, what was it?
Well, you got your Afterglow.
Bruise balm.
Bruise balm.
Gotcha.
The love bite, of course, the burn baby. Well, we've got all kinds of elixirs over there that I can't really read off the microphone right now, but trust me.
I think if you combine that with some of the stuff from capital punishment.
Can I just say for the record that saying the word elixir is pretty fun. That's a pretty fun word to
That
say.
is one of my
That's a
favorite
good
words.
one.
Speaking of favorite words, jam is one of them, and it is on right now as Dixie. Dixie Sanchez, number 2, out in front, co-captain of the All-Star Army.
And there's where we have one of those collisions. One of your own players falls. It takes out about 3 others. They back up pretty quickly, though, and they've got the front covered.
Cater Dye on the pivot for TXRD. She had an incident 2 years ago where her humerus was snapped. She had it plated and was back at work in 3 weeks. Took her a little bit longer, but she has come back with an intensity and off there on the front of the pivot with Daisy made damage there for the TXRD All-Star Army.
And I'll tell you, that's an accident that was heard around the world because I heard about that.
And calling off the jam, 5 points for the All-Star Army, 0 points for the Hurricane Alley Roller Derby. Hurricane Alley expansion team, not new to roller derby, but new to the bank track, and they're still working out the bugs and everything, and we are really happy to have them up here with us this weekend.
And Mike, you and I got to hang out a little bit with Annie Smokley before the bout. One of their top scorers and one of their really exciting players, and she's got the jammer hat on right now.
Annie Smokley is the highest point scorer for the Hurricane Alley Roller Derby.
Oh, Annie Smokley was there for a while, Wes. Looked like she had the inside. She could get through there. She ends up getting run back to the back of the pack, and right now she's in trouble getting past.
Smarty Pants with 4.0. Schooling Lunatic right there with a whip off of Just a Minute. Whoa! Smarty Pants getting taken down hard right there as the pack continues on.
Oh my, that's a Maytag. Everybody tumbles.
Getting a whip off of Miss Canada right there. And calling off the jam, 5 points for the All-Star Army. And well, we got another penalty. We've got a minor penalty on number 7 from Hurricane Alley.
And that would be our friend Annie Smokley.
Annie Smokley will be sitting out the next jam in the penalty box. Hurricane Alley will be skating 1 skater down.
And I tell you, Lacey doing a great job out there keeping us informed. I like that.
Oh, she is. Lacey Bones, our information queen. Keeping us informed here. We're a little bit new to this tournament rule set here, so we're still trying to work out some of the bugs up here in the box. Meanwhile, all the bugs worked out and on a roll. Your lead jammer, number 1982, Rocky Casbah. I think Rocky's trying to wear out the official right there, giving her a run for her money. Our officials today, all of them are going to be on skates following the jammer around.
I think it was one of those ET phone home point things.
Rocky taking the high side, avoiding a little contact right there, and she's still on the roll as the time clock still ticks away.
Only 8 seconds left in this one, Mike. As we lose all sound in this stadium.
TXRD, 0 points. Hurricane Alley.
Now the crowd's starting to get a little fired up there. Rocky Casbah always gets everybody clapping out there in the stands. One of the better athletes. And Mike, I think today, Rocky Casbah only played 3 soccer games prior to this tournament before coming out and competing.
If I could get the minivan with the kids out there and not be winded, I'd be in good shape.
Minor penalty on Bob had a minor penalty there on Karma Lutra.
Oh, nice hip whip off the pivot.
Jalapeno up front right there. Experienced pivot and many-time Defensive Player of the Year. On a great whip there to Miso Vicious.
And Bruce McGee out there jamming right now for hard. Oh, the Malachi crunch right up front. Once in a while you see a crease out there, Wes, and you're like, I think I can get through that. And then it closes in a hurry.
It closes in a hurry, absolutely. With these talented athletes we had out here today, some of the best roller derby teams in the country coming out here to Battle of the Bank 2. And everybody is here packing the arena to see it. It keeps getting fuller and fuller as the day goes on. Want to take time out to thank one of our sponsors, Derby Love, for all your patches, stickers, buttons, anything Derby. Visit Derby Love at www.derbylove.net. Off and underway, Bob. This one not looking so good for Hurricane Alley so far. Looks like it's all All-Star Army so far, up 45-0.
Yeah, and you know, Wes, what this is setting up, it's going to set up the last 4 bouts that are going to be absolutely crazy.
You know, talking about crazy, up next is going to be the LA Derby Dolls and the Red Dirt Rebellion.
And don't worry, got plenty of bouts coming up for you today, Mike. Now, who do we have coming up next?
Los Angeles Derby Dolls and the Red Dirt Rebellion expansion team from Oklahoma City.
You know, Zorella's really, she's had a lot of reps today. She's played a lot of different positions. She's done a pretty nice job.
Yep, on that jam right there, 0 points for the Hurricane Alley Roller Derby girls. 4 points for your Lone Star Roller Girls.
You know, I worked all over the country. They're louder than that in Sheboygan. Make some noise for these ladies. Come on.
Come on, Austin, Texas, you can do better than that. Make some noise for the Hurricane Alley Roller Derby.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about.
1 minute, 23 seconds left in this period. Well, in this half, rather, Bob.
I tell you, jalapeno right now, all over Lunatic, and that's going to spring your jammer right there.
Got the pack spread out all over the place on this particular bout here.
Carmelucha, the jammer for Hurricane Alley, is her 4th season on skates here, 1st season on the bank track. She's trying to do everything she can, looking for a little bit of help to get through the back of the whip off the front of the
Look
back
at that.
and calling it out.
They completely bend hard down to the bottom of the track, leaving the top of the track wide open for a grand slam.
Category 5, the Hurricane from Norway.
Mike, I thought we agreed on her nickname being the Norwegian Nightmare.
And of course, on the second whistle, your jammers are off. And this time around for Lone Star, yes.
And back out in front, jamming for TXRD, Dixie Sanchez, number 2.
Well, Mike, this is Dixie Sanchez's breakout year into all-stardom. Finally getting into that echelon of skaters to where she is one of the top cream of the crop skaters and one of the reasons that the Hellcats are so dangerous this year.
That's right. Oh, taking a hit and keeps on going.
Wow.
And calls off the jam by placing her hands on her hips. 5 points for the TX All-Star Army and 0 points for Hurricane Alley.
You gotta love a jammer. you can go ahead and take somebody out, get it out of the way.
Well, so far, having their way with Hurricane Alley. Again, can't say enough about experience. Hurricane Alley comes out and gets experience for the first time on this tournament. This will be the first trip they've made out to a bank track tournament, getting all that great experience. As you said, Mike, this is an expansion team in bank track, and they're coming out here for the first time, trying to get the experience that it takes to be able to compete in these tournaments with some of the best teams in the world.
Mummy Dearest for the penalty at number 1800 on that one for illegal use of the arms. And number 27, that's Clumzella with too many minor penalties on that one. Clumzarella, sorry. Thank you.
Well, Bob, I got to get your opinion on what you've seen so far. Who do you like and who do you think has had the best performance today so far? I mean, come on, we've had some routes in these first couple of games. Again, with these newer teams, nothing is more valuable than experience. But who do you like so far and who do you think really jumped out in front early here in this tournament?
Well, I'm going to stick to my guns and say what I said from the very beginning. The LA Derby Dolls are the champions until somebody makes them not the champions.
Well, and they're coming up next. We get an opportunity to see them. You know, some people paid tickets, paid the price of admission rather, just to come see that powerful roller derby team out of Los Angeles.
Absolutely. I said I think San Diego's going to be up there, and I think Team Legit's going to be up there. And we know that San Diego and Legit, we know that the last 4 bouts of tonight, or of this tournament, are going to be unbelievable.
Well, I gotta say, nobody in this tournament is more nearer and dearer to my heart than the 2 teams that are out there right now. However, man, I cannot wait to see Team Legit back out there. I mean, that raw speed was awesome.
Yeah, it's been very interesting for me because it really is amazing how the disciplines of both sports translate. You know, whether you're on the bank or whether you're on the flat track, the discipline of the sport is pretty much the same. You don't have to fight the gravity quite so much when you're probably in the turns here, but I would think the straights would give you a hard time.
Well, since 1984, they've been making my favorite pizza rolls. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about my peeps over at Double Dave's. Want to get the closest location to you? Make sure to visit their website, www.doubledaves.com. And Bob, I don't know, do you guys have Double Dave's up there in the Northwest?
I don't believe so, but I don't get out much. It's cold.
Well, Bob, there are places in the U.S. where you can go and they will cook you food. You just give them some money, they will actually prepare you a meal, and a little bit different than cooking it home for yourself. They will actually do it for you. You sit down at a table, tell them what you want, and give them money, and they will actually bring that food and drink out to you.
Shut up. Are you serious? Well, see, part of the problem is my career choice.
Absolutely. It is a great
I haven't cashed that Derby announcer check yet, but when I do, world look out.
It will be a doozy. Probably like Ricky Henderson, you've got it framed up there in your room, waiting to cash that in, and it's time to retire.
Well, it's been 5 years. I haven't had one to frame yet.
Well, so far so good with Johnny Stranger down there trying to use the force to get the All-Star Army through this bout. They are currently leading over Hurricane Alley Roller Derby 59-0.
Don't tell them it's just a flashlight.
Johnny Stranger up here protesting the bracket setup. He's got to understand that if you're a higher seed, you get to play the lower ranked teams. That's what you earn as a higher seed.
Quit crossing over the... Hey, quit crossing over the dark side right here, man. You get your Skywalker took us back down there.
Johnny Stranger turning to the dark side of the force up here in the commentator booth. Johnny Stranger turning into Darth Nihilus right in front of our eyes there. Of course, you know, Bob, at these Star Wars conventions, the thing to do is you have to be the most obscure Star Wars character that's ever out there. No longer cool to just be a Stormtrooper or Darth Vader. You have to be the most obscure character in the Star Wars universe.
And we're off and rolling with the second part of round number 3. Capital Punishment, Battle on the Bank 2.
Mike, so far my girls from Corpus not doing too well in scoring.
Number 7734 out in front for Hurricane Alley. Daisy may damage the Hurricane Alley, and she's trying to do it right now as
That would be Thorn. I think it's because the words are like...
Thorn getting twisted around into the kick rail there.
I'd also like to announce that I'm probably going to jump out of this booth because I have so much caffeine in me from that Red Bull.
That's 43-55, Thorn. And officials calling that one off. 4 points for the TXRD All-Star Army. 2 points. And Hurricane Alley puts a mark on the board.
There we go, girls.
Yep.
Getting on the board and making it count. Hurricane Alley scores their first points in an all-bank track bout. Congratulations, Hurricane Alley Roller Derby.
And
Welcome to the big leagues, baby.
Dixie Sanchez with a penalty on that one. Also, number 26, the Lunatic. Gonna have to sit this next one out in the penalty box.
Yep, they both got to sit with minors.
Out in front and with a pedal to the metal, number 4.0.
Mike, this track must be running fast today because Piranha is on rockets right now. I mean, she is really flying.
Piranha, number 39 centimeters out here, 40 centimeters. She is our inner league liaison. Whoa!
What a
She
nice
calls off
interception
the
of a
jam. That's down on her knees there, negating any points scored. Wow, what a hit she took on that one. I can feel that one all the way over here.
I'll tell you, there's not too many times you see them catch them after they've been released. And she timed that perfectly.
3 points for the All-Star Army.
0 points for Hurricane Alley Roller Derby.
We'll give them a half one for that whip bust.
I think so too, Bob. I mean, like you said, I mean, you don't see that often. You have to time that perfect. Coming out of a whip right there, she just throws her body out there and takes her out.
They usually break it up before it happens. That's about the second or third time I've seen one actually intercepted.
Piranha with the good mindset there. Make sure to call off the jam, keeping Hurricane Alley from scoring any points on that jam.
Just a menace with too many minor infractions on that last one. We'll sit it out in the penalty box. Also, number 7, that's Annie Smokley. Once again, Annie Smokley, the highest point scorer for the Hurricane Alley Roller Derby girls. We'll be sitting this one out in the penalty box. Cater Dye on the pivot. Cater Dye out front, jamming, and is your lead jammer for the All-Star Army.
And I'll tell you, the girls from Hart are doing a much better job of trying to get that pack together.
Whoa, Cater Tots hits the rail right there.
And she is definitely not afraid of that rail, but not a good place for her to be after breaking her upper arm there 2 years ago. She's definitely not letting us slow her down, though. She continues to put points on the board as the time clock ticks away. And calling off the jam, out of time on that one. 3 points.
And right there, I tell you, Jenny Flint.
Those 3 points for the Hurricane Alley Roller Derby. They're putting more points on the board. Number 1054 for TXRD, minor penalties, and number 420 for Hurricane Alley. That's Karma Lucia.
Karma Lucia's being a bad girl out there, Mike. A couple of minors that she's had so far.
She's spending more time in the penalty box in this bout.
Looks like we got Me So Vicious back out there for Lone Star Roller Derby.
And Bruce McGee for Hurricane Alley in the...
What a whip! Ali Peno takes her own self out with that whip right there, sending Me So Vicious out in front.
But that's okay, because she totally leveraged that position. She gave her a shot.
Smarty Pants out front, setting up a defensive wall up there.
23 seconds left in the jam clock.
Bruce McGee finally getting out through the pack.
I tell you, Wes Hart, they're almost there. They got themselves into the right position, but they get moved around a little bit too quickly by the other team.
Well, I got to tell you, Bob, these Hurricane Alley Roller Girls have come so far in such a short amount of time. I don't think there's anything that they could do today that wouldn't make me proud of them. I'm very proud of them coming out here and competing, and they are the absolute best hosts when it comes to us going down there. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for Hurricane Alley Roller Derby. Hey, by the way, Hurricane Alley Roller Derby doesn't want a friendly round of applause. Give it up for Hurricane Alley Roller Derby! That's what I'm talking about. You paid the price of admission. You better get this energy up, peeps.
That's right. Red Bull, Red Bull, Red Bull always works.
We will be giving out free Red Bull to people that are not cheering later in the bout.
Foxy Starlight and Brucey McGee in the penalty box on that one. Foxy Starlight, second season. She loves what her mama gave her.
Oh, look at this. Oh, there we go. Right underneath, we've got number 7. That's right on the front. It's Annie Smokely.
Annie Smokely was voted MVP for her league, her rookie season. She also was voted Blocker of the Year and Jammer of the Year, her rookie season. Not only Rookie of the Year, but MVP for her league.
And don't look now, Mike, but Hurricane Alley's got lead jammer status.
Hurricane Alley making a comeback in the second half. Daisy made damage, making up a little bit of time, coming to the back of the pack into point scoring position.
And unfortunately for Annie Smokely, that was the one spot she did want to get trapped into. You get run up into the higher lane, everybody goes right by underneath.
Oh, and she got pitched off into the rail, but calling off the jam. 2 points for Hurricane Alley. 4 points for the All-Star Army.
Well, I got to tell you right there, I think, Mike, that's all the crowd right there. The crowd gets involved, gets some cheering out there for Hurricane Alley. All of a sudden, they've got 2 more points put on the board.
And it looks like we've got some more minors coming up.
Oh, Annie Smokely spending a lot of time in the penalty box there, and also for Hurricane Alley, number 2012, that's Donna Destruction, making her first appearance to the penalty box for the TXRD All-Star Army.
Mike, I'm getting a lot of emails to the BlackBerry. A lot of people telling me that I am glamming Team Legit a little bit too much. They're telling me to stop talking about Team Legit. Hey, I'm sorry. I was impressed by them, Bob.
Yeah, that's okay. I'll fill in for you. And right now, I tell you, these teams are re-energized. It slowed down a little bit, but now that they put a couple of points on the board, everybody's back to, this is Boss out.
Well, I agree with you, Bob. You get the crowd involved and get a little bit of adrenaline out there onto the track, and you can tell that everybody out there has stepped their game up a little bit, especially my gals from Hurricane Alley.
Yeah, the defense has gotten a lot better. At that point, they're finally gonna give the jammer up.
Damsel Distresser doing a good job out on the pivot, out on the jam position for the TXRD All-Star Army. Damsel Distresser, second-year skater for TXRD, putting our mark in the All-Star Army.
Oh, the old pat on the top of the helmet can only mean a grand slam.
And out of time calling that one off. 4 points for the All-Star Army, 0 points for the Hurricane Alley Roller Derby.
Well, Mike, if you want to keep up with the brackets, Right over there in front of the merch booth, if you look on the floor, are your complete brackets for the tournament. And I got to tell you, if you want to get a good visual of where this tournament's going and who's going to be up next, stop by and check it out. We've got coming up next one of the best roller derby teams in the country, the Los Angeles Derby Dolls. See them play, Mike.
Looks like Brucey McGee back in the penalty box again. They're accumulating too many minor penalties. Also, for TXRD, Damsel Distressor going to be sitting this one out the next jam. And we'll have to sit in the penalty box. They're going to take a skater off the track. This gives a offensive advantage to the other team. Mummy Dearest, first jam for the All-Star Army. Several-year skater Mummy Dearest making it look easy. She makes her way easily through the pack and is out in front, signaled as your lead jammer.
Well, I tell you, Mike, wonderful job by TXRD for dominating the front. All 4 players up front as the jammers start working to try to come through.
Mummy Dearest living and commuting all the way from San Antonio to come up here and skate with us. Longtime skater for the TXRD, wears many hats in the organization, and she's putting a lot of, on the line right here. She takes it on the high side, scoring a full jam, calls it off.
And
Mummy Dearest with a full jam, 5 points for the All-Star Army, 0 points for the Hurricane Alley.
Do we have any fans here tonight for the All-Star Army? Absolutely, Austin, Texas, out here to support their team. Mummy Dearest puts 5 points on the board.
And number 7, Annie Smokley is getting out of the game. 2 penalties. She's going to have to sit out the next 3.5 minutes.
Yep, that sounds like one of those situations where she racked up too many of the same type of penalty. And I should get a little rest before halftime.
Absolutely.
That pack is off and rolling. Austin, Texas, make some noise for the Hurricane Alley Roller Derby. I said the Hurricane Alley.
Yeah, crowd's starting to get a little bit revved up, Mike, as we get to the more intense part of this tournament.
Boy, speaking about revved up, Piranha putting it down out there right now. Piranha is skating like I don't think I've ever seen her before.
Yeah, I got to agree with you.
Here.
Well, I can tell you Piranha is skating like I've never seen her skate before. And she is fast. She is tearing that up pretty quickly, and she has got number 420, Carmelucha, in her sights.
Piranha with a double for the first time in her career. 10 points for Piranha, the TXRD All-Star Army.
Woo, Mike!
Piranha with a double.
Great time for her first, Mike.
That was her first double in her career.
An amazing last pass through that pack.
And if you're going to do a double, this is the tournament to do it in.
And we've got number 13 on minor penalties for Hurricane
Lacey
Alley.
can do that even backwards.
Co-captain Nina Cochina in the penalty box. Nina Cochina definitely one of the best all-around skaters on the Hurricane Alley Roller Derby squad. Watch her.
And Cater Dye, she's going to cut through there in a hurry. She's through that pack. No trouble at all. Once again, she's got all the blocking that she needs. She's the lead jammer. She is moving at 100 miles an hour, and she's got a handful of points in front of her.
Well, Bob, I don't know if you know this, but Cater Dye is actually one of the people that has she's got an old wound that she actually broke a bone out here on this very track, down here on the second turn in the middle of a bout.
And Cater Dye trying to call off that she is not the lead jammer. Brucey McGee, the lead jammer. Actually, no, Cater Dye is the lead jammer now. I stand corrected. Brucey McGee trying to call that one off, but to no avail, and we're out of time into that jam. Time clock going up 7 points for the All-Star Army, 0 points for the Hurricane Alley. We've got less than a minute remaining in this bout.
Yep, just a little bit of who's the lead jammer there. Which are procedural errors.
Well, and TXRD moves into one of the esteemed spots in this tournament so far, having 100 points over their opponent. We had that earlier today, I believe, with Team Legit, if I'm not mistaken.
And I believe also with San Diego.
Never a bad time to mention our sponsors. Also want to thank Lone Star Beer. Secede from the rest of the beer world. Drink the beer that's been fresh brewed right here where it always has been. Right here in the great state of Texas. Action is back and underway. Jamming for TXRD. Everybody knows it's your favorite rhinestone, Category 5. Category 5 voted Rookie of the Year, her rookie year.
And a hard collision down in the first turn.
The Norwegian Nightmare pulls up, puts her hands on her hips and ends that jam.
And Thorne.
And we're out of time in this bout. And tonight's winners of bout number 3, Austin, Texas, please welcome to the track, the Lone Star Roller Girls All-Star Army! And if we could have the Reverend Mike and Principal Wood up here. Ladies and gentlemen, we would definitely like to thank the Hurricane Alley Roller Derby for coming out here, giving it all they got.
Oh, Mike, we got to give it one more shout out. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Hurricane Alley Roller Derby. That's what I'm talking about. Hurricane Alley coming out and making their first appearance in a bank track tournament, putting some points on the board against a very experienced team. We love our sister league out there in Corpus Christi, Texas.
Well, I tell you, win or lose, there's nothing more thrilling than being able to come out and play that first tournament.
Bob, I got to tell you, you're so right. You got to get out here, you got to break through, and you got to come out and compete. And that's exactly what Hurricane Alley did. This team never quit from the first jam all the way to the last jam. And that's what you see with the character of this team out of Corpus Christi, Texas, is they had no quit and they came out and competed from the first whistle to the last one.